So I've come down here today, a bit late for getting down here, but it's cold but bright. It was cloudy this morning, bright now, so quite changeable. Now I think I want to remove some raspberry canes today. If I get other stuff down, great, but that's my definite goal I want to achieve. So these raspberries here shouldn't be here, so I'm going to dig them up and move them to another bed. So these are all the raspberry canes I've dug up. I'm going to put them into this bed. I think there's at least something like 10 or 12, but we'll see once I plant them out. Given that these raspberries are autumn fruiting, I'm going to trim them all back, as well as transplanting ones I got from the other bed. Then, aside from mulching, it will all be ready for next year. Because with these autumn ones, you just cut them down to the ground. It's the summer fruiting ones that are a bit harder to work out what to cut. So, let me show you the difference between the raspberry and the blackberry, because they can be quite similar, but they are different. So you might get confused. The raspberry has lots of very fine, tiny thorns, whereas the blackberry, which is this, if you look at the green, their spikes are further apart, a lot further apart. There's also the leaf on the blackberry is a little bit different to the raspberry. Slightly more, I guess almost heart-shaped leaf, whereas this one on the raspberry is a bit longer. So just be careful what you're pulling up. So the bed is done for the spring. So the last time I was down here, I was dealing with some leaks, washing them off and stuff. I forgot to pull the plug out of the sink. I guess that tells me the plug works. Oh well, gives the wildlife a bit of water. But yeah, I will have to clean that up. Well, at some point it's got to -5.1. So quite changeable. No surprise that the carrot root fly eating carrots, or infested carrots. I put them here, which doesn't have any fencing around it, and most of them have gone, so I think the local rabbits have enjoyed them. Well, that sun's just about going down now. I have weeded, took some zinc foil out. I've also cut down the raspberries and transplanted the raspberries I wanted to. So that bed is now ready. Well, as always, that job took longer than I thought. My hands are cold. It's a cold day, as you can see, because I'm wearing a hat. The sun's disappearing, so I'm off home now. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. So, good morning. Yes, the last time I was down here, I took out the raspberries in this bed. So now I've got to weed it. I think that might be foxgloves, but I'm not sure. I need to take that all out and clear that. If I can do that and maybe take the leeks out as well, I'll be happy with that. We'll see how it goes. Well, this bed is now weeded, cleared, baked over. It doesn't have manure, but it's got good compost, so I think I'm going to cover it with the black plastic. So I've covered this, but because the black plastic has a few holes in, I've used 2, weighted them down with the stones. If I need the cover, I will, take one of them off for another bed, but for now that will do. So pleased with that progress. And that's how many weeds I got out, that whole tub full. So I think because I'm starting to get a few weeds coming up on these kind of beds, even though there's no manure on them yet, I'm tempted to just cover them up with the plastic for now and then take the plastic off once I'm able to get some more manure. So that should be a pretty quick, easy job. Well, I kind of changed my mind. The beds that have manure on, because they've been down a few months, when I rake it, it kind of breaks up. So I'm going to rake it and then cover it. But because I'm starting to get bits of grass growing, that's what I'm going to do. Be my best start for the spring. Okay, let me show you what I got done today before I go home. Although this had these frames on already, I moved them, raked the manure so it went more crumbly, and covered it. So this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, 5 are manured, raked and covered. There's a bed to my left. This one is not manured, it's weeded and covered, but there's no manure. And I covered this bed. So I've decided I want to be in the sun, so I'm going to work on clearing and weeding and covering these, I say 3 brassica beds, but I think it's only 2 of them. I'll pick the calyx and then cover that. But there's still, Cavolo Nero and some purple sprouting broccoli in that one, so I'll leave that one. But the leeks I'll pull up, so leeks, calyx, and there's a cabbage bed further down there that I think I'm going to clear. Time to crack on. So I was going to try and see if there were any leeks that are savable, but literally they've all got the hard centres. I'm just going to put them all in the compost. It's really not worth the effort. The temperatures have been so yo-yoing up and down this year. They didn't do well. Oh well, here's hoping this coming growing season will be better. Well, I'm freezing. I've been stood in the shade by that sink and I couldn't help myself. I managed to save, I think you can see that, those leeks, which is about, once they're trimmed up and cooked, that'd be enough for me. And basically, am I the only one that likes them? There might be one other in my household, so at least I'll get one meal out of them. But yeah, that shade will be lovely in the not winter, in the summer, but it's so cold. So I've pulled up the leeks from that bed. I've gone through and saved what I can, which is only a handful. And now I'm going to put a cover over that bed. So I had to slightly dig it over to loosen the leeks. It does really need some more manure and compost. but that's just going to have to wait till I can get up to my sister-in-law's. So time to cover the bed. So that's that bed covered, slightly dug over and covered. One bed at a time. Look at it. Oops. Sorry. One bed at a time, we'll get it done. Okay, not too much more sun. It's the afternoon, coming up to 2. I'm gonna try and do this bed behind me. I had the calyx in, but I've had a close look and they have been pecked to death by the pigeons, so there's not really much left for me to harvest. So I'm going to pull up the plants and cover the bed. So I've done that. The black plastic doesn't cover it all, but it's better than nothing. Looks like something had been nibbling the possibly calyx or Brussels sprouts on the netting there. So I'll have to investigate to see if that netting has lots of holes in it. But you can see bits on the path. That's definitely some sort of rodent. So I'm going to see if there's anything salvageable from these bits here, and then go home because I'm losing daylight. So yeah, it's cold. Might be sunny, but it's still cold. I can see my breath and my toes are cold. I'm gonna go home now. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.